Sorry to bother you, he began, voice cracking under the weight of his nerves.
I know this sounds unbelievable, but could you pretend to be my wife, just for today? The woman glanced up, startled. My daughter's inside, he continued, barely able to hold eye contact. She thinks you're her mom. The stranger didn't speak at first, just stared, unsure if she'd heard him correctly. But what came out of her mouth moments later would alter the course of all their lives. Lucas Bennett stood just outside a cozy diner tucked into a quiet Georgia suburb. He adjusted his coat with trembling fingers. A tall man in his late 30s, his broad frame carried more than just physical weight. It carried the exhaustion of a life that had taken more than it gave. His blue eyes, once vibrant, now looked worn, but kind. Inside, visible through the large front window, sat a little girl, Emily. 6 years old, with a cascade of lively brown curls, she waved enthusiastically to her father from their booth. But Lucas didn't return the wave. Not yet. Instead, he turned toward the woman nearby. She had long auburn hair and was casually scanning the overhead menu. Her clothes were simple, her expression distracted. Lucas stepped forward and made the request that felt like madness even as he said it aloud. Please, just for tonight. One dinner. Her name was Kate Donovan. She had popped in for a quick meal before heading to her next job interview. Life hadn't been easy lately. She was drifting between temp gigs, trying to rebuild herself after a toxic breakup and the wreckage it left behind. And now here stood a stranger, asking her to play a wife she'd never been, to a child she'd never met. She nearly laughed from the absurdity of it. Is this real? She asked. Lucas swallowed hard. My daughter, she's battling leukemia. It's been a brutal year. She told her school counselor she misses her mom. I panicked. I told her her mom was coming back today. Kate's breath caught. Her real mother left when Emily was still in diapers, he added quietly. I'm not asking for anything beyond dinner. Just sit with us. Smile a little. She needs this. Kate looked toward the booth. Through the window, she saw the little girl's hopeful eyes, huge and bright, filled with innocent expectation. She didn't understand it, but something inside her moved. Not yet, she murmured. Then, louder, all right. When Kate stepped inside, Emily nearly tumbled out of the booth in excitement. Mommy! Kate hadn't prepared herself for the embrace that followed. That little girl clung to her like she was the missing puzzle piece in her world, and in that moment, Kate felt something inside her unlock. Something she'd been missing, too. The three of them sat together. The beginning was stiff and uncertain, but slowly, laughter rose between them like sunlight after rain. Kate began sharing memories, real ones, from her own childhood. Emily soaked in every word with wide-eyed wonder. Lucas watched in awe as the woman who was supposed to be a stranger made his daughter's world feel whole again. Later, when Emily went to the bathroom, Lucas leaned across the table. You didn't have to go this far. Kate gave a small shrug. She reminds me of someone I lost. After that night, Kate thought it was over. Just a strange one-time moment of compassion. But Emily had other ideas. She begged her dad to invite Mommy Kate again. And again. And again. One dinner turned into afternoon playdates, bedtime stories over video calls, and hand-drawn cards that said, I love you, Mommy. Lucas didn't know what to do. This had never been the plan. He deeply respected Kate's generosity. He'd never ask her for more than she wanted to give. And yet, he noticed the way Kate's entire face lit up around Emily. How her laughter filled their apartment. How Emily's condition seemed to improve, bit by bit, since she arrived. And somewhere in the quiet moments, something began to form. Something fragile. Something frightening. Something very close to love. One rainy afternoon, after another round of chemotherapy, Emily drifted into a nap. Lucas and Kate stood in the hospital hallway, silent except for the hum of fluorescent lights. "She calls you Mom now," Lucas said quietly. Kate blinked, struggling to keep tears back. "I never meant for it to go this far." "Neither did I," he whispered. She let out a breath. "I don't know if I can keep doing this. I'm not her real mother. One day she'll find out. And it'll destroy her." Lucas looked at her. "Then maybe there's another option. What if we made it real?" Kate stood frozen, unable to reply. Before she could speak, Emily's voice echoed faintly down the corridor. "Mommy!" Kate turned and rushed back into the room. That night, she couldn't sleep. And then, she vanished. Days went by with no word. Lucas broke the news to Emily gently, that Mommy Kate had to go away for a while. Emily fell silent. The sparkle left her eyes. Her health began to slide backward. Doctors quietly warned that the emotional toll was worsening her condition. Lucas did everything he could. But nothing could fill the void Kate left. Then, one morning, a card arrived in their mailbox. It was addressed to Emily. The handwriting was unmistakable. "I'm far from perfect, but if you'll still let me be your mommy, I promise, I'll never leave again. Love, Kate." Lucas didn't hesitate. He drove across the city, his heart pounding, and knocked on her door. Kate answered, eyes puffy, cheeks stained with tears. "I was scared," she admitted. Lucas nodded. "Me too. But maybe we don't have to be scared alone." 6 months later, Emily stood in a small white dress at the entrance of a modest chapel. She grinned as she tossed flower petals down the aisle. Kate knelt beside her, holding her tiny hands, tears running freely. "I didn't give birth to you," she whispered, "but my heart chose you. And if you'll let me, I'll be your mom forever." Emily wrapped her arms tightly around her. "You already are." The wedding was intimate. Close friends, nurses from the hospital, neighbors from church. But the happiness inside that chapel could have lit up the whole town. Lucas looked at Kate and Emily, overwhelmed. "You saved us," he said. Kate smiled through her tears. "No, you saved me first." Some families are made by blood. Others are shaped by love, by resilience, and by the quiet bravery of second chances. If this story warmed your heart, consider sharing it with someone who needs a reminder that hope often arrives when we least expect it, but exactly when we need it most.